I think we're here. I think we're here. Are we working? Possibly. I think so. All right. So I'm gonna come down here, and we're hello. So that's kind of exciting, and I think we're here. I think my audio's on here. Hold on a sec. I think so. All right. So I'm gonna come down here, and we're hello. That's kind of exciting, and I think my audio's on here. Hold on a second. That's probably why right there. Excellent. I think I know what's going on. Okay. So I think for those that possibly tuned in the other day when we were actually testing the Zv-1 and the Zv-1F, we had both those cameras connected to our laptop, and we had all kinds of audio issues. We were having issues like crazy. We actually had to stop the original broadcast because I just couldn't figure out what was going on, why I couldn't get any audio at all. Everything seemed to be set up, but finally got it to function, which was good. But not using any of the external mics. I don't know what audio it was being pulled from. I think it was actually being pulled from my laptop, so the sound wasn't fantastic by any means. But today we are rocking two different cameras, of course. So again, number one, we have the Zv-1F, which is this guy right here, Zv-1F, followed by this guy right here, which is the Zv-1. Now, the color is close on both of them, I think. This room's not super well lit, so I'm going to have to play with that a bit more, get some more lights and things like that in here. But today what we're really focusing on, and this one here, the Zv-1, seems to have a little bit more saturation, and I do think it's two things. I have a light, a window up here, so I'm going to get some like warm light that comes through it. And I also have a TV right in front of me here. So this one, of course, I'm getting some extra light from the television as well. So this camera is getting the benefits of kind of everything. So just kind of be aware of that. But that's the two cameras. So we'll kind of come back to the Zv-1F just so you guys can see it here. Back to the Zv-1F. But for those that actually watched the video that came out this morning for my little setup here, we actually were testing out like a really, really cheap capture card, which was like it's $24, $25, something like that. So it's not expensive by any means. And then we are also connecting a way more expensive capture card. Now, my curiosity, my thought was, does it really make much of a difference when you are streaming? Now, during that video, and if you haven't watched it, I'd encourage you to go watch it if you're at all concerned about video capture cards. But my concern was, or question was, yes, if you are doing an actual recording, you can probably see the difference for sure, right? The more expensive capture card, it actually says on the box for it, and it's a AV matrix, that it will pull uncompressed. So it is just firing data, and the video file that it created after the capture was twice as large in file size as the cheaper video card. Noticeable difference? Yeah, there is difference. You could definitely see it in like color accuracy, whereas the cheaper one had a little bit of I want to say like a yellowish tone to it, a yellowish or orangish tone to it, because it really made me look tanned, which is kind of nice, but it wasn't accurate. Whereas the more expensive card, definitely the color that was coming through it was pretty much perfect. So I think if you are going to be using a camera or a capture card, and you don't want to be able to do any kind of color correcting after, you want it to stream and be really accurate, possibly paying that little bit extra could be nice. And if you are going to be color correcting and you're using that to be able to get as high level as possible, so your starting footage, of course, not going to be compressed, it's going to be way nicer to edit with, then paying that extra money, I think, could be good as well. But when you are putting it through streaming software, that's really the question, right? Is anybody even going to know? Is anybody going to know at all? So here, for instance, hello, somebody's typing. Somebody's here actually communicating. That's nice. That's excellent. So yeah, when you're on here, just so you guys know, this one, and that may also be why I'm just thinking of it because I just said it, right? This is the Zv-1F going through the AV matrix, so the more expensive, so it doesn't have that saturation boost. It doesn't have that yellow or orangey tone to it. So this is probably way more accurate to what it is. Now, when we switch it over to the other one here, now we're going to the cheaper of the card. Now, I still think it looks fantastic. Both of these are actually capturing in 1080p 60. And it's really hard to tell the difference between the two. Now, I did have some stuttering before, but I'm pretty sure that stuttering was completely because I had both capture cards plugged into two USB 2 ports that were beside each other, and those two ports may have been running through the same bus, possibly, and because of that, it was just having problems taking two big streams through. So I actually moved the AV Matrix because it actually is a USB 3 capture card. It's I think it went to a different bus, and that means that it allowed it to actually use its own, and I lost all that stuttering, so that was good. So somebody's chatting with me, so I'm going to do that. The cheaper one looks great. Yeah. You know what? It's really hard to tell. And I think when you're streaming, which is what I'm looking at here, I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference because two things, you're not getting the optimum data that the camera can put out, right? Number two is that YouTube's going to get its hold on it and compress it. So it's really, because when I look at my computer screen, which is probably what you guys are seeing as well, when I look at the screen and I look at the cheaper card, because of that little bit of extra saturation boost that it gets, like here, right in this area, that extra saturation is lovely. Like, it's actually quite nice. Not that that's how it is for real, right? And if I switch back to the other one here, I don't get any of that saturation boost, and to be honest with you, that one's probably more accurate because of the fact that, well, that's what it would look like. And I have a blue light up here, but it's behind my table, and I was going to turn it off, and because you can kind of tell it lights up the room a little with a blue hue to it. But it's out of reach right now. It is what it is. Great to see you all here. Thanks for watching and joining. So nice. They both look nice, but I am going to say that the expensive one has more better audio than the cheaper one, but I would prefer the cheaper one for those that don't want to spend. Well, I think right now, to be honest, the audio that I think you are hearing, my thought is that you're hearing, my hope is that you're hearing, both of these should be using the exact same microphone. So if you're hearing much of difference, I'm not sure necessarily what's causing it. I do see some stagger on occasion on my end through OBS, and then I don't know if that is the computer, right, just having issues. It doesn't say that I'm dropping any frames. It says that my frames are good. I have 0% dropped frames. My CPU usage is only at 1.5%, so that's nothing. Has there been any lag in the cheaper one compared to the more expensive one? No, not really. And I say no, but I do sometimes here in OBS see the odd little stutter, but I can't tell if that is my computer having the stutter or if it's the capture card. Because earlier on today, I can't speak. Earlier on today, I was testing and I had the same kind of issue, but I had it with the more expensive card. The more expensive card was giving me some stutter, so I had to shut down everything and then restart again, and then that worked good. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to switch back now because right now you're seeing the more expensive card with the Zv-1. Or Zv-1F, sorry. So now we're on this one, which is the Zv-1, which is going through the cheaper card. Now, the other thing that it could be doing too is that OBS is prioritizing the device that's physically being captured and streamed. And then we see lag on the other one because it really doesn't need to do anything with that. So it prioritizes the image that's streaming. So you guys really, you're my eyes on that outside world, right? Because here I do see a little bit of lag, but it always seems to be in the preview window, right? He says, "Who's it? I understand I had the same issue, but I assumed it was the card. Might be my computer." Yeah, and it is possible, right? So I definitely was having some lag. The computer that I'm running on right now, it's not as if it's a brand spanking new machine, but it's my Huawei D15. So it's running an 11th gen Intel i5, only 8 gigs of RAM, but that should be fine. 512 solid state drive in it. Should be more than plenty fast. And watching my dropped frames, OBS says nothing, 0. My CPU, again, right now, it's currently at 1% usage. So I think it should be doing okay. So since I've joined, I haven't seen any lag, so I think you're good to go. Might just be the preview. Yeah, that's my hope, because whenever I see it on OBS here, I'm going to switch cameras again. Because I'm looking at the screen. This way you guys get to see me a bit better. Because that's important, right? You guys seeing me, I think. It's always the preview window it gets a bit of a lag. It's never the main window. So, all right. Maybe I finally got this sort of half working okay. Audio is coming through good. Now I'm using this mic. You guys don't necessarily know what mic it is, but review of this mic coming up soon. And we'll probably do another live. But the only reason I'm using this mic today is because of the fact that I needed something. I was having issues getting camera mics to work properly, but whatever, right? I have not, or am not an avid OBS studio user. I don't know it very well. And I definitely don't know the Windows platform very well. Just so you guys are aware. I'm more of a Mac user in general, but I figured that this machine was kind of hanging out. It was a nice machine to be able to bring here. But I did have some issues. Anybody here watched the live that I did 2 days ago? You would have definitely seen some audio issues. And there will be, again, another video coming out, because I think I figured out what the issue was at that point. And at that point, I was, I think, running out of power. I had so many things plugged into the computer and into a hub that, of course, laptops don't have big power supplies in them, which I didn't even think of, right? I didn't even think of. So I literally had my Zv-1 plugged into it to gain power. I had my Zv-1F for power. I had an external hub plugged in for power. I had my keyboard and mouse plugged in. I had an external microphone plugged in. I had 2 capture cards plugged in. And, pieces were, I didn't really notice it at first, but I had a warning message come up inside Windows that literally said that your machine was drawing too much power and some of the components weren't going to be working properly. So a few things that were plugged into little power, like wall power bricks, but they weren't supplying a lot of power. They were only like 20 watt, 30 watt, 40 watt power, like power bricks that you plug in, AC bricks, right? So this morning when I was playing around with this, I literally put a 100 watt one in there, and so far I think it's been good. So the expensive one has better audio than the expensive one has more of a better audio than expensive one, but they both sound great. Again, I think they should be, as far as I know, they should both be coming off the same microphone, which is, it just seems weird if it sounds different. Again, more playing around. I got more playing around. This is live version 2, right? Just live version 2. Hopefully by the end of it, we have it locked in, dialed in. It's going to be awesome. Again, I have a few purposes, I think, thoughts of kind of what I want the lives to be. One of the things that I miss when you do an unboxing or a tech review or anything like that, and a lot of times I'll get a product. I'll just bring one here, for instance. It doesn't. I've never even ever reviewed this because these are right here, right? Ultra comfortable earphones. Company sent me these, and they're earphones for sleeping. You put earphones in, and they're supposed to literally just help pull out the sound, right? They're not noise canceling. They just seal in your ears really well. And my thought was, well, two things. I'm not the best person to ever review this because I can't sleep when it's quiet. So I don't even want to try these because if they do that, then I won't be able to sleep. Number two is that the last thing I would want when I'm trying to sleep is something in my ears, because I'm a side sleeper, which means that they're going to push in my ears, and I don't think that would be comfortable. So I've never reviewed these, but I think it would be kind of cool to actually do a live afterwards and definitely certain products that I've had a little bit of a chance to play with, because a lot of times you guys see the videos, and the video was shot like a week and a half previous. So a lot of times I have a couple days after I shoot the video to actually play with it, and I get a better understanding and a better idea of things I like about it and things that I don't like about it, etc., etc. So my thought was that it would be a great way to do like a little bit of a question and answer on certain products that I think may need that, because again, for instance, somebody might think, hey, that's a great idea because I like it to be quiet. And then they ask the question, what do they feel like? And I would be like, they hurt my ears. Then they may be like, oh yeah, I never even thought about that. So my thought was that would be cool, right? And of course, I'd have more capture stuff because, for instance, you guys should be able to see. I don't even know if this will work. I may lose audio. Hold on a second. That screen, because I don't know if I had audio on that one. I don't think I set the audio up. But I have the ability to show you guys my screen, so if we have some questions or whatever on certain products or whatever, I can bring up like stats and blah 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 blah. So I thought, neat. I think that would be super fun. Super fun. Last thing I kind of want to do, just because, there are a lot of times that I am bored. Yeah, completely bored. I'm sitting here and I've shot my video. The computer's exporting stuff. They're working away. My wife's at work. Daughter's at school. I just want to hang out. So I have over here. You guys probably can't see it. No, I don't think you can. But it's just over in front of the TV. My Xbox. It's not a new Xbox. It's an Xbox One S. Not an Xbox Series, but an Xbox One S. And I thought, hey, what would be cool is to maybe I'll become a gamer, stream some games. Really, it's just me having fun on top of the other stuff that I do. because I'm learning stuff, which I love. Now I want to be able to stream stuff because I think streaming would be fun, you know, and being able to occasionally talk with new people like you folks there. Vipin Das. I just saw your name in there. Hi. So I'll do this. I'll say, here's a real hello, and I'll give you one of these. Hi. Right? But yeah, I think that's kind of the overall purpose. But because of that, there's a lot of things I have to learn over the next like X amount of times. How to get the mics to work properly. How to get audio to capture properly. How to figure out, based on the gear that I have, how to capture all this information and hopefully have my computer not completely crash on me. Because, you know, I don't know how much memory this stuff takes. I don't know how much CPU. CPU doesn't look like it takes much at all. So that's excellent. And then lastly, I think, is that's the right screen. Now I'm back. Okay. See, I'm still learning stuff. I'm screwing up every once in a while. I think lastly is that I can't remember where I was going with this. No, I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I think what I do need, because I am definitely down the road. Here's my question: how many of you guys are Mac users, and how many of you guys are Windows users? Down below, leave a comment. Just say Mac or Windows. I'm curious, because primarily, like I said, I'm Mac, but I'm learning Windows and I'm enjoying playing with Windows. Right? Hey, Mary's here. Hi, Mary. And I keep clicking off. Hello, Mary. Yeah, so Mac or Windows, because I have been considering, because I think, again, power becomes a big issue here, and I want to possibly play around with some games and stuff like that. I'd love to either build a gaming PC, not big budget because I don't have that, something fairly inexpensive. Maybe there's a company out there that's watching this kind of stuff that says, hey, we'd like to send you one, and I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say no to that. Never. Or maybe I just go down to the store and see what one fits in my budget, which isn't very high right now. But, you know, it may be something if I find that the streaming kind of somewhat half takes off. If it's something that people enjoy watching. And again, maybe it's the gaming side of it. Maybe it's the talking about tech stuff after we've done the initial unboxing / first look. Maybe it's just because we're shooting the crap, right? Shooting crap. We're shooting craps. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. Yep. But totally off topic, which is what you can expect from this channel. Totally off topic, because I have a real problem staying on topic. So you guys have seen me flop back and forth between these two cameras. And for those of you that are new here, that have just joined the channel or just joined the stream, we have been going between two Zv-1 cameras. So this one here is a Zv-1, and this one over here is the Zv-1F. Zv-1F, and then again Zv-1. So this is the Zv-1. Now, they should take pretty much identical image quality. The only real difference is the capture card that they're going through. So Zv-1, which is the one you're looking at now, is going through a cheap, like $25 cheap capture card, which is kind of nice, super budget friendly, right? And then we come over here to the Zv-1F, and the Zv-1F is going through a more expensive. It's like 200 and change. And these are Canadian prices. I'll give you Canadian prices, right? Capture card. For streaming, I don't think that you're really going to notice too much of a difference. The cheaper capture card, so the other card, this card, this one here, definitely more saturated. Definitely punches up the saturation, especially in the oranges and the yellow. But it doesn't look bad by any means. If anything, I kind of wish the other one kind of looked like that. Now I can go into OBS and actually adjust the colors and bring up the saturation, but this is just a good look. And I think, you know, going through YouTube, it really doesn't make a difference. I don't think it makes a difference at all. The cheaper card, I think, is just as good as the more expensive card. I think if you're using them for actual recording and editing and color correcting and that kind of stuff, then yes, I would say that the more expensive card is definitely more useful for sure. What are we at? I try not to make these too long because I know that we end up just talking about nothing. So I'm going to leave you guys there. I think based on what you guys have said, both cards are good. Both cameras are good. We've got that all set up. We have heard some things about audio, which I am a little bit confused on because both of these should be set to use the same microphone. So I'm not 100% sure why that would be the case. More playing around. The cheaper card looks just as good. If you did watch the video this morning, you'll see that when it actually gets recorded to a computer, there is a difference for sure. There is a difference. But I think during streaming, because it's lower bit rate, it's YouTube compression, it's got to flow through the internet, it's going to be really, really hard to tell any kind of difference between the two, if there's a difference at all. So I'm very happy that both of these are functioning and working the way they should be. Excellent. Super pleased. Thank you guys again for joining me today in this little test. I think tomorrow we are going to be testing or showing you guys the mic that I'm using today, but I'm pretty sure that I have 2 or 3 other mics that we'll be testing. So you guys will be able to give me an idea of what microphone sounds the best out of the lot, and that will be the microphone that we keep here with the setup. Yes? Yes. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the half hour, and that's going to be it for today. Leave comments down below if you guys have anything else to say about this video. Of course, it's going to start its encoding so that the rest of the world can watch it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the pre-recorded video. And I have a feeling we may do another live tomorrow afternoon based on that gear. All right, guys. That's it. Zv-1. Zv-1F. Expensive card. Cheap card. All right, guys. I'm out. Later.